My name is Allstin, but today it may as well be Adam or Jamie because I'm about to be a Doom Eternal Mythbuster. Let's dive right in. So there's a question that I've seen around the community that I want to address today. That is, Allstin, why is it that a modder can make a master level in 2 weeks, but it takes id Software months? Well, there's a few things that people do not look at when it comes to this. So let's break that down. Now, I've supported modding since classic Doom, so I love seeing what people are doing, but there is a difference from the official stuff, and here's why. Modders are one person on their own schedule. They have free reign to do whatever they want, whatever they see fit for a map. They can put in 15 possessed bloodmakers, it doesn't matter. If they want to do it, they can. They can dedicate all of their time to it, not just working hours. This isn't their job, it's a hobby, so they can do, 15, 16, 24 hours a day if they want to, technically on it. They have more time because that can be their main primary focus, whereas someone at id has their working hours and that may not be their only focus. So you have the time issues there. The playtesting is done on a smaller scale, so if there's a bug, the scope of the players that it affects and the overall impact on the game is less because it affects only some PC players versus all players on all platforms, PC, console, Switch, everything. The impact of the bug is also less, as it's not the stake of the company that's on the line for it, it's a fan-made project. The greater effect of the modded change on the whole game doesn't have to be taken into consideration as heavily as if it was an id Software change, as it's a fan-made for fun, not an official AAA studio update. Speaking of which, id is a AAA studio at work, but when they're at home, they don't have the same equipment and the network that they have at their job. The hardware, the infrastructure, it's all different. Now, DLC 2 is priority. It is paid content. Now, the base campaign was paid too, of course, which we got, and the rest is free. See, that's the thing. These master levels, they are additions to the paid content that we have already bought. That $60 went to the base game. The master levels, the additions, are add-ons that are free. They are promised to us, and we will get them, of course, but they are free content versus the paid. The DLC is 100% year one pass, cost money. They have to worry about several different builds and consoles. Like I mentioned earlier, it's not just some PC players, it is everywhere and everybody, and there's just so much more they have to consider about who is running this game on what platforms, hardware, and why. And versions maybe, well, not so much versions for the newest updates, but it's all different things they have to consider and think about. They have to do tons of testing on every single encounter. Modders can also do this and test every encounter, but it has to do it to a different degree because they are the full official company rather than just the fan-made project, although both of them are really fun. They have to consider a much wider audience. Mostly the fan-made master levels are geared to the top-end, toughest type of player, but the regular master levels do have to appeal to a more general wide audience while still being tough and challenging. You can still do this with mods, but the whole thing is it's different for id as an official company. Their name is attached to it, and they have to stick to a certain protocol and way of designing it. Launching the level is likely more intensive. It's not just getting the launcher and patch and all that sort of thing and replacing the file. They have to launch this in an official update with the game to all consoles, all platforms. The release schedule is much different. They have to handle it from a marketing perspective as well, like Super Gornest, making sure they hit that deadline, which is another thing they have to consider, is the deadlines. There's so many things to think about and consider when you're launching something like this that you don't have to have when you're a modder, even though both of them are awesome. Subscribe to the channel if you like this video. I'm Allstin. See ya!